Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be playing a solo game of Mass Effect Priority Hagalaz. This is episode 5 out of 5 in my solo campaign, playing through the Priority Hagalaz campaign. So definitely start at the beginning if you have not caught up to this point, and be warned that there will be many spoilers. But in this mission, I am playing Reactor Critical. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I am all set up to play the last mission of the Mass Effect Priority Hagalaz campaign. Of course, this is just the last mission for this particular playthrough. There are 3 different missions that could be the last mission. There are 3 different starting missions. There's 4 in the middle, plus 4 different loyalty missions you could play. So my playthrough through this campaign has just been one possible path. But of course, it's a good time to remind you that this is spoiler heavy. I'm not holding anything back, so if you want no spoilers at all, then this is probably not the video for you. But I'm going to play through this last level and see what kind of finish I get. As a reminder of the campaign so far, I started with Through the Breach and achieved the Paragon victory, and then I did Rex's loyalty mission and succeeded there. We got Rex's loyalty. Then I played Atlas Binary, and man, that was a really long one. I had a hard time with that, but we did succeed and get the Paragon victory. Then I tried to get Garrus's loyalty, and that ended super quick. I got embarrassed. That was a bad one. And now we're here at the final mission. So since Garrus embarrassed me, I have not included Garrus in this final mission. So as much as I like Garrus Vicarian, he's done me wrong in this campaign. So he's out for his final mission. Oops, and it looks like Rex is not at full health like he should be. Okay, so let's place our characters on the map here. I'm going to put Tali at this starting space, Rex here, Liara here, and Shepard is going to start right here. And so this mission is 3A. It's called Reactor Critical. And let me read the intro paragraph to you here between Edie and Joker. So we start with Edie telling us, "Commander, the reactor is just ahead, and the storm is approaching. You must detonate the reactor before the storm hits and scatters the cruiser across Hagalaz, rendering it impossible for us to ensure that Cerberus's research is destroyed." And Joker responds, "Time to shut this show down for good." So we are playing against Cerberus again this game. This time we have level 1, 2, and 3 enemy forces. So all of the tokens are in the bag for the Cerberus forces. And the additional setup instructions say if your mission log shows that you scored a victory for the mission Atlas Binary, which we did, read story paragraph 53. The Atlas mech shudders to life, but sparks and the sound of grinding metal accompany its movements. Worthless Bosh-Tet, Tali whispers. Exhaust the first 2 levels of shield value on the Atlas mech's resilience tracker. Oh, that is very interesting. That is not what I was expecting. So I hadn't even put this elite enemy on the map yet, but I guess they'll start on the map. There's the Atlas mech. And so I'm going to exhaust level 1 and level 2. So that thing is well on its way to being defeated. So that's interesting. I was sure that it was just going to be putting more loot tokens on the map, but that doesn't appear to be the case. So let me take off the double loot tokens that I'd set up in advance without reading what was going to happen. So I was pretty confident that's what I would need to do. So no double loot tokens on this one. Let's read here our main objective for now, rig reactor core. So once per turn, a squad mate in a hex containing an objective token, which is one of these question mark tokens, there's 4 of them on the map, can use a mission action to overload a terminal. Move the objective token to one of the slots below. When all of the slots are full, the stage is complete, and then that will unlock the Renegade and Paragon paths to continue. Now, I don't see anything in setup about not putting this other elite enemy on the map either, so I suppose this enemy starts on the map. This is the Phantom. You know what? I guess the Phantom is not spawned at the beginning because it doesn't have its own spawn hex. It seems to share this one, so we're just going to wait until instructed to place that on the map. So let's look at our special rule here for this Atlas mech. An attack made by a squad mate other than Shepard cannot deal more than 1 damage to the Atlas mech. So it's got only 1 shield left with 6 hit points, but that's really up to Shepard to take care of. And I don't know if I want Shepard really in the action, if I learned anything from my last mission. But I don't know, who knows. So let's populate the minions on here. So there's 30 tokens in here. So we're going to have some more difficult ones potentially pop out. That is an assault trooper, a guardian. Over here, we've got another assault trooper, a assault trooper there. Here's an engineer. This is a guardian. There are no shrouded areas on this map, or no shrouded enemies anyway. There's a couple of locked doors, but there are no enemies. This is a locked room here. That's a locked room there, but there's no minions inside, so I don't have to worry about that. And what else? We've got the fast transport from here to here, and that's like an enclosed area. And we've got some elevation changes. Looks like that's it. So all these orange arrows here are pointing down, and these orange arrows are pointing down. So this is like a trench. So when anything fires, it fires at its own elevation. So like this turret will fire down this trench, but it won't hit anybody up here. Similarly, this turret is up, so it'll hit here. It'll fire over all of their heads, anyone in this trench here, and then it'll hit these two spots. So just something to be aware of. And I think that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these terminal spaces. We need to get 3 of them. So let's start turn 1 with Shepard. All right, 2 stars, so I can flip over one of these command tokens and re-roll those 2. 1 more star. So 1 more command token. Okay, and so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with an enhanced action die and place it on Carnage, so I can deal with the enhanced 4 damage to an enemy in Shepard's line of fire. So Shepard can fire across the gap and hit this Atlas mech for 4 damage. And remember, it's got 6 total in its shield. And now I'll use an enhanced action die on Shoot, which allows me to deal 2 damage in Shepard's line of sight. So 2 more damage to the mech, that's 6. So I've already taken out that Atlas mech, and good riddance. Boy, did I have a bad taste in my mouth from that thing, from Atlas Binary. So I don't want to have to deal with it. So let's mark 1 kill right there for Shepard. And now let's use one of these 2 Paragon dice to take an extra action. I'm going to take a move action for 2 spaces. So I'm on the fast travel. Or, no, I'm not. Okay, let me use the other one. 3 spaces. So I'm going to hop down, and then that's 1 move. Second move uses the fast travel, and the third move will end me on this space here. And then I'll use a regular action to take a mission action to gain this this objective token and place it right here. So we have just overloaded a terminal. And that's 3 regular die. I could use this other Paragon die if I wanted to, but I don't especially want to do that. So now I'm going to draw a hazard card. And let me just draw 4. These are the 4 for the squad mates. And we'll set them here. And this top one is Shepard's. Activate each Guardian and each elite enemy. So let's find the Guardians. There's one here. I want to move, I guess, closer to Liara. Let's go 1, 2. Notice the walls here and around Shepard's little 2-hex space here too. So nothing can shoot through those walls either. Is there another Guardian to move? This one. So there's walls in the way. They're going to move 1. Oh, and they can't shoot up either. So they'll move 2 to try and get to maybe this ladder. And this Guardian can shoot Liara and does 2 damage. So 1, 2 to Liara's shields. And then we can't activate any elite enemies because I've already destroyed them. So I need to place a new minion on the map. At least that's the way I understand that rule. So this is an engineer. That's going to go right there. That's the closest spawn hex to Shepard. Oh, and I forgot to use my incinerate action. That's too bad. Well, that's okay. I don't think it's too late to use it. Shepard started here. So after making your initial rolls, you can choose an enemy within 2 hexes and do 2 damage and stun them. So this one hasn't moved. They're within 2 hexes of Shepard. So they've got 3 health. So they've now got 2 damage and they're stunned. Okay, so now we move on to Liara. So let's go ahead and roll. And no stars for Liara. And so I think I'm going to have Liara use a regular action to do a pistol shot to this enemy here. It'll deal 1 damage, which is enough to take out that enemy. So she's got a kill. I'd like for her to level up. That would be nice. And that was a level 3 enemy, so I'm glad to get them off the map. Then I'll use one of these multi-purpose ones to do stasis to stun a minion in Liara's line of sight. So let's stun this one. And I'm going to take one more action with her. I'm going to have her move 2 spaces, 1, 2 to grab this loot token. And we get a grenade, okay? And I'm going to leave that Paragon die for later. So let's take the next hazard card here. Activate each Guardian, then spawn a minion at the furthest empty spawn hex to the current squad mate. So let's find the Guardians. Well, there's one here, and they're not in a position to shoot anyone, so they're going to move to where they could shoot. Another Guardian. The only other one is this one, and they're going to move 1, 2 spaces up this ladder so that at least they're on a hex where they could potentially be on the same level as everyone else. And then the furthest empty spawn hex from Liara has got to be this one, because you've really got to zigzag around to get there. So let's draw something from the bag and hope that it's a level 1 minion. We've got a level 3. Sure we do. Level 3 Guardian right there. Okay. And now we can roll for Rex. Oh, and before I forget, let's put Tali's drone Chatika here on her starting hex. That's where it starts. Here, I'll just leave it there. Okay, let's roll for Rex. So we've got 3 stars. So let's flip over 3 of these blood rage tokens from calm to enraged, and that's how we like Rex. We like him enraged. Let's do it again. 1 more star. And a lot of movement, not much action. That could be a problem. I hope I get an action here. Oh my goodness. That is not great. I really had higher hopes for this turn for Rex, but he's not doing anything but running around. So we'll move 2 spaces here, going through Liara. 1, 2. And then I will move 2 spaces again. 1, 2. And I'll use the Paragon die, I guess, is the only way that I can take this shotgun blast and do 2 damage to this enemy who can only take 2 damage. So Rex gets a kill. And I've still got 1 die left to use, and they're all movement dice. So luckily, Rex has 3 movement actions. Otherwise, it'd be totally wasted. So I guess we'll just move 1 and cover up that spawn point is probably the best thing to do. So that was not the best turn ever, but you know what? I'd already lost the mission at this point. Garrus loyalty mission, so I could be doing worse. So let's check the hazard card. And this says, activate the 2 enemy tokens closest to the current squad mate. Well, there are no active enemies up on this ledge where Rex is. So I think the closest 2 would be 1, 2, and 1, 2. Because I think they're going to try and climb up this ladder to get to Rex is probably their intent. And now it's Tali's turn. So we're just going to roll these. We'll roll all 3. No stars, mostly movement for Tali as well. Oh, and she's at the bottom of that trench. I guess I didn't realize that. I thought she was up top too. Okay. And I don't think there's a ladder behind that. No, there's not. Okay, I can't get up that way. Well, we're going to take this sabotage enemy action, which says choose a minion with a range tag, which is the little reticule picture, and deal damage equal to its attack value to an enemy in its line of fire. So I'm going to choose this engineer here who can do 3 damage, and I'm going to shoot this engineer who has 3 health, because this one can shoot down onto that one. At least I think it can. Let me check. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So the book says that enemies, or any 2 people on the map, including turrets, enemies, your own squad mates, if they're at different elevations, they're never in each other's line of fire, unless they're on adjacent hexes. So this one would be in this one's line of fire, and vice versa. So this one can do 3 damage to this one and take him out. And so Tali gets credit for that. And then I will take a movement action, move 3. 1, 2, 3. And then my other movement action, I can move up to 2. I'm only going to move 1 to cover up that spawn hex. And then that will be it for this round after this hazard card. So this says, spawn a minion at the closest empty spawn hex to the current squad mate, and then activate each elite enemy. So really, I'm just going to spawn twice. And there are exactly 2 empty spawn hexes. So let's just fill them up. So this one is an engineer. And, oh, there is another one. This one's probably closer. This one is an assault trooper. All right, so that's the end of the round. There's no damage to clear. We have a stunned enemy here that we're going to flip back over. And we need to recover the dice. And shields go back up. And let's deal out 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4 hazard cards for squad mates just in their turn order, starting with the on-point player, which is pass the on-point token to Tali for round 2. So Tali gets to go again now. So she didn't move nearly as far as I was hoping I would have her move, because I wanted her to go twice in a row so she could hopefully get to one of these places and unlock a door for somebody else to get in to get these other tokens. But there is no way she's going to get all the way down this trench, up this ladder, and over to either of these doors to unlock them. But we'll do the best we can. So let's roll for Tali. I got 1 star, so I can move the drone, Chatika, up to 2 spaces. I'm just going to move 1 space right here. I might try and disable that turret. So let's re-roll that star. Okay, I bumped 1. I don't know what that was, but that's the roll. So let's do this. I'm going to take this regular die and flip it to the enhanced by flipping over a command token. And because Shepard has medicine, when you use your command ability, the target squad mate also recovers a hit point. I don't have anybody who needs to recover his hit points now, but that's good just as a reminder. So I'm going to do sabotage enemy. So I choose a minion, again, to shoot another minion, but because I use the enhanced action, they can also move up to 2 hexes before dealing damage. So I want this engineer to move 2 hexes and deal 1 damage to that assault trooper. So the assault trooper has 2 health, so they've taken 1 hit. Now I'm going to take another enhanced, and I'll use the Paragon one. This is, a regular action, and I'm going to enhance it with another command token. So here, and I'll put it on Sabotage Turret. So because it's enhanced, I can choose an active turret and deal 2 damage to each enemy in that turret's line of fire. So 2 damage here takes out that enemy. I'm choosing this turret, by the way. And 2 damage here takes out that enemy. So those 2 enemies have just both been defeated by the turret now. So that's 2 more kills for Tali, who can now level up. And so I'm going to take this one, Go Chatika, which allows when you resolve a move action, you may also move Chatika up to 1 hex for each movement icon on the die you allocated. So basically every time Tali moves, the drone can move in addition to the stars. So that's pretty great. And now I'll take a move 3 action for Tali. 1, 2, 3. And I could technically move Chatika, but I don't think I will. And I've got 1 more regular die to use. I'll use this one to move 2, 1, 2, cover up that spawn hex. And that at least gets Tali closer to that ladder. It's going to be a while before she goes again. And that's going to be it for her turn. So let's draw the hazard card. Oh, what a waste. We already got reprieve. So we put a random loot token on the furthest spawn hex from Tali, so we'll put this here. As far as I know, that doesn't prevent things from spawning though, so I'll try and leave it a little bit uncovered. And then there are no escalation cards to put back into the deck, and then this card is gone from the game, so I'll just put it off to the side. So it's a good card, it was just really underutilized because of how early in the game I got it. So now we're going to roll for Shepard. No stars. All right. And frankly, I just want Shepard to stay there where she's not going to die and cost me the mission again. But it's going to take me forever if I have to rely only on Tali to unlock doors. Man, there's really not much Shepard can do from here either. Nothing useful anyway. Yeah, this is pretty dumb, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And now I'll use this enhanced action to do 4 damage to this enemy who is above but on adjacent hexes, so I can do that. So this enemy only has 3 health, so they're gone. Shepherd gets a second kill. And now I'm going to use a move action to go 1, 2. There is no way I'm leaving Shepherd out there. I thought about trying to disable that turret or get on that spawn hex or even run over here and take out this guy, but there's too many different ways Shepherd will end up dead before she gets another turn. So let's draw a hazard card here. And we have activate each elite enemy, then spawn a minion at the furthest empty spawn hex to the current squad mate. So there's no elites on the map right now. So I'll spawn at the closest spawn point and then the furthest. And I think the closest will be this one here. Even though there's a loot token there, that seems like the closest to here. And then the furthest will be this one, I think, because even though it's close enough that Shepherd just killed somebody there, you can get to the adjacency there more quickly than to there. So I think I did that right. We'll call it good. Now let's roll for Liara. And do I want to lock any dice? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to roll it and see what happens. Even though that has not been a very good strategy so far. So I've got 2 stars. 1, 2. Reroll those. 1 more star. Okay. Pretty good variety there. And let me see. Is there spawn under there? There is. How about here? Yes, there too. Okay. Well, let's do lift. And I have pure biotic, so I can do lift to any enemy within 3 hexes. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to lift this enemy, which deals 1 damage and gives them a biotic token. And that enemy has 4 health by default, so now they're down to 3. And now I will move twice. 1, 2. And then I will take, with an enhanced action, pistol shot, which deals 3 enemies as long as the enemy is within 3 hexes. And you know what? I'm actually going to target this one. 1, 2, 3. Still within 3 hexes, so 3 damage takes that enemy out. I'm going to kill the enemy either way, but at least this one has the biotic effect token. So that's a second kill for Liara. And we need to draw a hazard card now. I want to save that Paragon die for Rex. So we have activate each assault trooper, then spawn a minion at the furthest empty hex. So we have a number of assault troopers. So this one here can't hit anyone, so they're going to drop down to, and they can go up to 4 spaces because they have the rush tag, but they don't need to. They're adjacent to Rex now, so I don't think they will. What is this? This is also an assault trooper, and they can do 4 damage. Oh, and they can hit Rex from right there, so 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a big hit. Guardian, 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 Engineer, Guardian, and who is this? That is a Guardian. Okay. And now I need to spawn at the furthest hex from Liara. So it's certainly got to be that hex back there, right? So let's draw an enemy. We have, what is this? Another assault trooper. Geez, okay. And now we go to Rex. I'm going to lock this Paragon die with the enhanced action on it. Roll the other 3. Right? Is that what I want to do? No, I don't think that one's quite as valuable to me. I'm going to lock the 3 movement die. Okay, let's roll these. And 1 star, so that's our last enrage token. Those are filled up. Okay, good thing I saved the movement. So we'll use this first enhanced die to deal 4 damage to this enemy right here. So that enemy is gone because they only had 4 health. And I might as well resolve it twice with shoot at 46 more times. So I'll take this guy out as well. Because Rex was adjacent to both of them. So that's 2 more kills for Rex, which means Rex gets a level up. And I only have 1 option. It's what Krogan do best. So this says, at the start of your turn, you can taunt an enemy that is not adjacent to any squad mates. Move the enemy up to 2 hexes. It must end this move closer to Rex than it was. So I've got that for the future. That's pretty good anyway. And now I'll take the move action. And what the heck, I might as well grab this loot and go 1, 2, and I'll stop there. The loot is, a better grenade cache. Okay. I would like to take that 3rd move and go here, but even though we're at different heights, I think this would cause an opportunity attack with this Guardian, so I'm not going to move another time. But I'll use the Paragon die here to do Lift Grenade, and this is the enhanced action, so I can pick an enemy in my line of fire and within 3 hexes, give it a biotic token, and then move it up to 1 hex. So I will do that right here, this enemy, and move it up to 2 hexes, because the enhanced one, I don't remember if I said this, move the enemy up to 2 hexes instead of 1. And so there is no opportunity attack with the Lift Grenade. And now my last action, I'll just do Fitness, which would flip over 1 more token if I had one to flip, and recover 1 hit point. I might as well get some HP back. That doesn't hurt. So let's check this hazard card. Defense turrets. Oh, that was the worst one for where Rex is standing. So activate each turret. Each active turret inflicts 1 damage to each squad mate in its line of fire. So this turret fires over Tali's head. That one doesn't hit anyone. That one doesn't hit anyone. But that hits Rex, and Rex is standing on 1. So Rex gets hit twice. 1, 2. And then I've got to draw and resolve another hazard card from the top of the deck. So this is activate each engineer, and then spawn a minion at the furthest spawn hex to Rex. So there's only 1 engineer, and they're right here. So they're just going to move 1 space to be adjacent to Tali, and then I've got to draw a new minion token, and I think it'll go here. It's a little bit harder to figure out what's closest and what's furthest away with these multiple layers. All right, this is an assault trooper. All right, and so that was the end of the round. So now we're going to recover the dice. 2 there, 4 from Tali, 4 from Rex, 3 from Liara, and everyone's shields go back up. That's just Rex. And these tokens go away. That token goes away. Nobody's stunned. So we'll draw 4 more of these hazard cards for the current squad mates, with the top one being the next on point, and we pass the on point token to Rex to start round 3. So let's roll for Rex. And we've got 3 stars to re-roll, no tokens to flip. Okay, so let's have Rex try and clear a path. So we'll start by moving twice, 1, 2, and now we'll use an enhanced die to deal 4 damage to 1 enemy, this one here, which takes out that Guardian. And now we will move 3 hexes. We'll go up the ladder, 1, 2, 3, and now use the other Paragon die, 1, 2, 3, and now we'll use a regular action for Rex not happy. Flip all your Blood Rage tokens to their calm side, 1 damage for each one you flip. So that's going to be 5 damage to each adjacent enemy, which will take out 2 more enemies, and that helps to clear the path a little bit for Tali. So that takes out this one who had 5 health. Oops, that door is locked. And this one here who had 2 health. Okay, so pretty productive. 5 actions for Rex. Let's see if it was worth it. An escalation card. So that's going to go here, and then we need to redraw from the deck. And we have spawn a minion at the closest empty hex, and then activate each Guardian. So that was likely to happen, but I kind of didn't want to spawn at the closest hex because I just handled that. So there are 2 adjacent hexes to Rex, but arguably the one on the same level is closer. So we've got an assault trooper. And now we activate each Guardian. And this one's closest to Rex, so we'll start here. This one will hit Liara for 2 damage. 1, 2. And these are both Guardians, but neither of them has anyone in their line of sight. So I guess they'll drop in the trench. 1, 2, 1, 2, and start moving this way. To try and hit whoever they can. I'm not super confident on these paths, but I'm trying to do my best. Okay, so Tali is next. Let's lock this 3 movement die, because that could be really helpful. And now we will roll the rest. And we got 1 star, but I don't really want Chitika to move right now, so we'll re-roll it. Okay. Now don't forget, with Go Chitika, every time Tali moves, Chitika can move as well. All right, so I'm going to slightly risk Tali's life, and I'm going to move to 1, 2, and I think that does incur an opportunity attack from that engineer who's going to do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, so that really hurts her shields. Oh, and that assault trooper next to Rex would make an opportunity attack as well. Shoot. I had just enough actions to get to this door and unlock it, but she would take another 3 damage, so that's not going to work for me. Oh, and even more stupid, there's a ladder here. I didn't realize, I thought this was the only ladder. Oh man, I am making some mistakes. I'll tell you what, Tali just moved through, she moved 2, so I'm going to move Chitika, 1, 2. I will take the sabotage enemy action then to have this enemy do 2 damage to this one, which takes that enemy out. And now I can move Tali 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So she's at the door, but she is in line of fire of that engineer who would kill her. So maybe instead of my third move being down, maybe it'll be up, and I'll just grab this loot and hope that it's something good. Well, hold on, before I look at it. Yeah, that's a better idea. Okay, no, I'm gonna go back where I was. Put the loot token back. Before my turn is done, I will use this grenade. I'll throw it at this enemy who's 3 hexes away. It does 2 damage. They've only got 2 health. So that enemy is gone, and now she's not in the line of fire where she could be killed. She is in the line of fire of 1 turret, which would be bad, but not ending Tali bad. So let's draw her hazard card, and we have an escalation card, so that's our second. Let's move that token over. So 2 escalations, draw a new one from the top of the deck, spawn a minion at the closest empty spawn hex, and then activate that minion. I'm going to argue that it would be that space there. So I've got an assault trooper, and then if I activate them, they do 3 damage to Rex. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that was Tali's turn. Now we go to Shepard. Do I want to lock any dice? Yeah, maybe this enhanced action. So let's roll for Shepard. No stars. All right, that's a shame. Can always use more command tokens. That's okay. I'll use the move 3 action to go here to the fast travel, and then this enhanced die to do carnage, which is deal 4 damage to an enemy in Shepard's line of sight. So that takes out this guardian. That's the 3rd kill for Shepard, so I get to level up, and my only option is to take barrier. So after completing a move action, regain a shield point. And yeah, of course, Shepard is just going to go back because I don't want to insta-lose. So that is Shepard's turn. Let's check the escalation card. Activate each assault trooper and engineer. So we'll start with the assault troopers, and the closest one will be here. So they're going to attack, Rex again for 3. And whenever Rex would lose more than, or let me rephrase that, you cannot lose more than 2 hit points as the result of a single attack. So 1, 2, but that's still enough to take down Rex. So Rex is down. And the only other assault trooper is this one, and they have rush. They're going to move 4 spaces. I suppose this one will drop down 1, 2, 3, 4, and climb that ladder to try and get closer to Liara. And then there is no engineer to activate, so I need to draw a token, and they're going to spawn right there, closest to Shepard. Pick a good one. Engineer. Okay, 1 damage, 3 health. And now it is Liara's turn. And I'll lock one of these either or dice, just so I have options. Roll these 2. Okay. And let's get Liara out of here. She'll do something more useful somewhere else. So let's do stasis, so she can stun an enemy in her line of fire, and we'll choose that one. And then we'll have her move 3. Well, I guess I'm not going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do lift to this enemy here to do a damage and a biotic token. And then I'll use this move 3 die just to drop down here and move 2 and cover up that spawn hex, which is not real exciting, but it's useful. So spawn a minion at the closest empty spawn hex and then activate each assault trooper. So the closest spawn hex is probably this one. So we've got an guardian, okay? Now activate each assault trooper. I don't even know what's under there. Assault trooper. So they do 3 damage, but they've got a biotic effect token, so they're only going to do 1 damage. And they're going to shoot across to hit Tali. So 1 damage to Tali. And this is the other assault trooper who has rush. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not great, but there you go. So that was the end of this round. So let's bring the dice back. These 3 are locked for Rex, but these 2 do come back. Grab these. And these. Oh, Liara's going to go again, huh? I was not prepared for that. Shields go back up. These tokens come off. And stunned enemies are no longer stunned. So we'll draw 4 more hazard cards. Or 3 more, sorry. We don't draw one for Rex. And now we pass the on-point token to Liara. We're going into round 4. So let's roll for Liara. Got 1 star. Roll again. Okay. And so her first action's got to be to use this enhanced die to revive Rex. Let's bring Rex back. And Rex has full shields and 1 health. And now, once again, we will use stasis to stun a minion. And I will stun this one. And then again, I will use lift to do 1 damage and 1 biotic token to that guardian there. So that guardian can no longer do any damage. And I'm just going to leave it there for Liara. So let's draw a card. And this is defense turrets. Okay, not fantastic. So Tali is going to get hit by that turret. Liara and Rex will each be hit by that turret. So 1 hit for Liara, 1 hit for Rex, 1 hit for Tali. And now we draw a new hazard card. But before I do that, since Rex is back, let's give Rex a card from the top of the deck. So Liara's other card is activate each assault trooper and guardian. I think that is going to be pretty painful. So what do we have here? This is a guardian, but with the biotic effect token, it does 0 damage to Liara. This one is going to do, 3 damage to Rex again. 1, 2, 3. Rex is back down. What a pain in the butt. All right, so Rex is back down. Rex's card goes to the bottom of the deck. This Guardian's going to move 1, 2. And this Guardian will also move 1, 2, I think. And that is that card. So we're going to skip over Rex and go to Tali. So let's roll for Tali. We've got a star, so we can move Chatika 1, 2. Reroll that star. Okay, and what can she do? Well, let's start by using this enhanced die to do pistol bursts, and that will deal 2 damage. No, that's not going to work. All right, we're going to do sabotage enemy with the enhanced die. So we can choose an enemy, they'll move twice, and then do an attack. So I'm going to move this enemy down once and then have them fire across at the same height to that assault trooper who's been such a pain. This one does 2 damage. This one has 2 health. So that assault trooper is gone now. So I can stop killing Rex. And then also this one is no longer adjacent to Tali. So now I'll use a regular action die to hack to open this door. And now I will move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So I got the loot. And that is an intel. And I might as well take a 4th action with this Paragon die. I'll do a mission action and grab this objective token, which means I've overloaded a terminal. So that's 2 of those. So I got to get 1 more of these. Oh, and I almost forgot. Tali moved 3 times. 1, 2, 3, right? So Chatika can move 1, 2, 3 times. So you know what? Let's go ahead and use this other Paragon die on Tali. And she can move up to 2 times. I'm not going to have her move at all, but I will have Chatika move once. And now Chatika's in a spot where on Tali's next turn, I can hack and unlock that door. But, you know, Tali's situated in a spot now where she can't get injured by anything, so I think I'll leave her there. And maybe I'll move her 1 space. I'll put her by the door. so she can at least shoot out. So that's it for Tali's turn. Let's take a look at the hazard card. Activate each engineer and each elite enemy. So if we look for engineers, we've only got one. So they're going to move 1, 2. And now I need to spawn an enemy, and that's the closest hex to Tali. So let's spawn there, since there's no elite enemy. And we have an assault trooper. Okay. And now it is Shepard's turn to roll. Do I want to save any of these? I mean, yeah, I guess this enhanced action. Let's roll these two. Both movement. Okay. Well, that works fine for me. Let's move 2 for Shepard, and we'll just do 1 move. And now I can use the enhanced die to do carnage, deal 4 damage to either that enemy or that one. And I think I'll take out the engineer, who has 3 health, because they're in this area that's kind of busy. And I'm using this other move 2 to go right back here where it's safe. So let's reveal the last hazard card. Activate each elite enemy, then spawn a minion at the closest empty hex to the current squad mate. So I'm just going to spawn twice. The first will be here, and the second time I suppose will be here. So let's do that real quick. One is a guardian, and the other is an assault trooper. And I'm out of dice. That's going to be it for this round. So let's recover the dice. Of course, Rexes are still locked. And we're going to recover shields. And we remove tokens. And flip over inactivated enemies. Now we pass the on-point token back to Shepard. Okay, so we're going to roll now for Shepard going into round 5, I believe. Got a couple stars there, so we flip over a command token and re-roll. Another star, another token. Another star. Okay, that's all 3 of my tokens. That's good. Oh, and let's pass out 1, 2, 3 hazard cards. Rex does not get one because Rex is down. And I'm just going to repeat what I did before. As boring as it is, Shepard's going to move up to 2 and then take an enhanced carnage action, deal 4 damage, and I think I'm going to take out this guardian here who has 3 health. Is that right? I could also go this way. Oh, and that one won't respawn, so maybe that's the way to do it. Yeah, I'll take out that guardian for 4, fine. And then another move 2 action. Shepard's going back into cover. I'm not losing that way again. So reveal the next hazard card. Activate the 2 enemy tokens closest to the current squad mate. Okay, so that's going to be this one. He's going to move 2, 1, 2. And then who would be the next closest? And I guess this one? 1. Oh, and that's it. That's in line with Liara. So now Liara is next, and I don't know, frankly, how she's going to do anything. She is really stuck there, and she can't move. If she moves right now, she'll take an opportunity attack of 5, and that's just moving 1 space. If she tries to climb that ladder, yeah, she'll be down to her last hit. That's rough. Let's save an either or. Roll the rest, see what happens. Okay, no stars. How are we going to make lemonade out of this? Really, at the moment, I just need to think about how Liara might be able to support Tali, because Tali's the one who's going to do all the work, and she's getting kind of boxed in there too. So let's do a stasis to stun this assault trooper. And then we will lift this enemy. So that's going to be 1 damage and 1 biotic token. So that enemy can no longer do any damage. They've got 2 health left. And I'll use this enhanced action die to revive Rex again. So Rex is back for the moment with full shields and 1 health. Oh, and previously I stopped moving there because I thought that Guardian had line of sight on Liara, but the elevation's different, so this one should be here. which is actually worse for me. But that was all of Liara's actions. Let's check the hazard card. Activate each assault trooper and each elite enemy. So let's find the assault troopers. That's a guardian. That's an assault trooper. Guardian, assault trooper. And what is this? That's a guardian down there. So this one is going to move. 1, 2. Try and get closer to Tali. And this one is going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're on that fast travel hex, which is not great. And now I need to spawn one because there's no elite enemy on the board to activate. So that is an engineer going right there. So Tali's path is pretty locked up. Should be adjacent to 1,000 enemies. I don't know how she's going to get through that pathway to get out that door and get to that door because she 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjacencies on the way. She's in trouble. I've got to deal a new hazard card for Rex now, and Rex is back, so we can bring these dice back at least and roll for Rex. Rex has got to clear all this mess. No stars, but luckily taking care of these messes is what Rex is good at. So let's have Rex do a shotgun blast for 2 damage to this enemy right there who's already got 1 damage. They've got 3 total health, so that enemy is eliminated. That guardian is gone. And now we'll use a paragon die to take a move action. I can move up to 2, but I'm just going to move 1 space. And now I'll use one of these regular die, but I will flip a command token to enhance it. And when I use a command token, the affected squad mate recovers 1 health because of medicine. So that's helpful. So I'm going to deal 4 damage, and I'm going to use shoot it 46 more times to resolve it twice. So this enemy has 3 health. This one has 2. I take them both out. And now I'm going to throw this grenade cache, which does 3 damage. I'm going to target, this one here. So 3 damage and 3 damage to that one. And this one has 4 health, so it can still take 1 more hit. And now I'm going to have Rex move, 3 spaces. 1 up the ladder, and then here. So Rex is in front of the door, but at least a little bit closer to being able to back up Tali now, which I think is going to be important. And I think I'll leave it there. So let's resolve the next hazard card. That's for Rex. Defense turrets, that figures. So who's in line of a defense turret? Liara is and Rex is. That one's not hitting anyone. Shepard's fine. And the door is going to block that one for Tali. So Liara takes 1 hit. Rex takes 1 hit, and we have to draw again. Deck's getting low. Activate each guardian. So what is this again? That is a assault trooper. That is a guardian. So that guardian's going to do 2 damage to Liara. 1, 2. And now I need to spawn a minion at the closest empty hex to the current squad mate. And so we've got an assault trooper right there. Which is too bad. I was really trying to clear this out for Tali. Couldn't clear it out as much as I wanted. But Tali's up next. I've got 4 dice left, so that's good. Probably could have locked one of them. I don't remember what they were. But we've got a star, which means I can move Chitika, but I'm not going to because Chitika's right where I want them to be. Let's roll that again. Star. Okay. I think that'll work. And now we're going to have Tali first move twice. 1, 2. And then move again. 1, 2. And then we'll take this pistol burst to deal 2 damage to this enemy down here, which takes them out because they only had 1 hit left. And then we'll do this enhanced sabotage enemy to have this enemy move 2 spaces, 1, 2. So now that's 1 less person surrounding Liara. And they're going to fire across at the same height, do 2 damage to this assault trooper. So that takes them out too, even though somebody's likely to respawn there. Let's check the hazard card. Activate the 2 enemy tokens closest to the current squad mate. Oh, that's nice. So that'll be this one who's now going to shoot at Rex for 2 damage. 1, 2. And there is no other enemy token. There's this one, but that's inactive. So I need to spawn 1 more. I took out 1 too many guys. All right, let's pick a good one. Assault trooper. Okay. And that's the end of that round. So we're going to see Tali going again, which is good. And recover all the dice. Gosh, I'm still in the first stage of this thing. This is taking a little while, a little longer than I would like. Let's see, shields get recovered. Rex needs that. Liara needed that too. Now going into the next round, we pass the on-point token to Tali. And we draw 4 more hazard cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's not much left in the deck. There's only 4 more left. So we've got to be getting pretty darn close to that last escalation card. But now let's roll for Tali. I got 1 star. Not using it. Okay. So we're starting with a regular action to hack this door where Chatika is and unlock it. That's great. And now I'll use a Paragon die to move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Oop, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Before I do that, let's just put it to the side. I need to take care of this guy. We'll just use an enhanced action for enemy sabotage again. I guess it didn't have to be enhanced. We'll use a regular one. We'll have this Guardian shoot that Assault Trooper. 2 damage, 2 health. Take that one out. Now there's no opportunity attack. So now I can move 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm actually going to move 3 again with a standard die. 1, 2, 3, and get this loot token. And Tali's just in a safe place to wait until next round to pick up one of those. Or Rex can come by and grab it. That's fine too. So we've got another grenade. That's a good thing to find. So let's check the hazard card. And this is the escalation. So that's the 3rd escalation card. We're going to resolve whatever's next, and then we're going to need to shuffle this deck. So it says activate each elite enemy, and there is no elite enemy, so we're going to spawn at the closest hex to Tali, and that is going to be right here on the other side of the wall. So these cards can stay in place, but I'm going to take these that I have not drawn, and this deck here, and these 3 escalation cards and shuffle them back in. So just give me a second. So for the mission failure, that is 1 shuffling of the deck. 2 more will lead to a failure. I can't imagine going that long. I'm sure it happens. I don't know, but I think every time I've failed, because not every time I've played has been on this channel. I haven't recorded every single playthrough. But every time I failed a mission, it has been because Shepard has died. I've never run out of shuffles. So that's just like, it's been a while, and this is just the first shuffle. And sometimes, you got bad luck and you might draw 3 escalations quickly, but 3 times through seems a lot. Okay, so these are shuffled. That was Tali's turn. Let's go now to Shepard. And I might want Shepard to get a little more active now as we're going into the next phase. I'm going to save that 3 movement die and roll the rest. 1 star. Okay, and I can add that back in. So let's have Shepard move 3. 1, 2, 3, going up the ladder, and then move 2. 1, 2 to cover up that spawn spot. Oh, you know what? Hold on, this is interesting. Let's take that 2 movement back. 1, 2. And instead we'll move 3. 1, 2, and jump down for 3. And now I'll take this enhanced shoot action, and before I shoot, I can move 1. So I'll move 1 and then shoot and deal 2 damage to that engineer, leaving them with only 1 hit left. So I think that's pretty low risk. I'll probably eat those words, but maybe I can have Shepard later run back and get those couple loot tokens. That could be helpful. But let's take a look at this hazard card now. Activate each engineer and then spawn a minion at the closest empty hex. That was maybe the worst one I could have drawn. So there's 1 engineer. I'm pretty sure it's this one. And yeah, they do 2 damage. So that'll be 2 damage to Shepard. 1, 2. And then I place a minion right behind Shepard. A little worried about that. So we've got an assault trooper. Oof. Level 3 assault trooper with 4 health who does 4 damage. We do not want them to activate. So Liara's up next, and unfortunately, there's not much she can do to help Shepard. So let's roll these. 2 stars. Maybe I should use that ability, but I probably won't. All right, so I'm going to use this enhanced die to do pistol shot for Liara and finally take out this assault trooper that's been driving me nuts. And now I'm going to take a move 3 action. 1, 2, 3, and I went in and out of that adjacency, so I'm going to take an opportunity attack of 2 damage. Just couldn't avoid it any longer. And then I'm going to move again for 2. 1, 2. So I've collected both of these loot tokens. So hopefully these are things that can help me. Oh, 2 more intel. So that I don't think is really going to help. That'll get me, that would level me up after this mission. But, there is nothing after this mission. So not super helpful. Instead, I just kind of left Liara hanging out near the turret. So let's flip this over. Spawn a minion at the closest empty spawn hex to the current squad mate, and then activate each engineer. So the closest hex, I would argue, is this one here, which of course spawned an engineer, and now I activate each engineer. So we'll start with this one, who's going to move 1 space. And isn't this an engineer? Yes. Shoot Shepard for 2 more damage. Give me a break. Okay. And so I'm just going to roll all of these for Rex. Not super useful. If I got a lot of these move 3s, I probably could have run way over here and done something to that assault trooper to try and protect Shepard a little bit. But as it stands right now, I can't really do much of anything. I can do what Krogan do best, and I can taunt an enemy. So the enemy has to be not adjacent to any squad mates. So the one next to Shepard's out, that engineer is out, but I can taunt this Guardian and bring them down here, and then do, I guess, an enhanced shotgun blast for 4 damage, take them out. And now I can move 3 spaces. I might as well go 1, 2, 3 onto that spawn hex. And I can use an enhanced die here on fitness to flip over 1 token and regain 1 hit point. And I guess I'll just throw this last one on mission because there's nothing else I can do with it. So let's check the hazard card. Activate each Guardian and Engineer. You got to be kidding me. So this Engineer does 1 damage to Liara. There. And this one is going to do is a 2. Yeah, 2 damage to Shepard for the 3rd time in a row. 1, 2. Shepard's got 1 hit point left. I can't believe this. And I need, there is no Guardian, so I need to draw and place at the closest hex to Rex, which will be here, another engineer. All right, so that's resolved. Everyone's still alive. We're going to go for another round. I don't know what round this is, but it's been a while. It's taking me quite a long time to get these objective tokens. So shields go back up. Shepard needs that. Might not be enough, though. And these damage tokens come back off. All right, so let's go into the next round. We pass the on-point token to Rex and roll. So 1 star out of those 14 dice. Okay. All right, so here's how it's going to go. I'm going to move 3. 1, 2, 3, and there was an opportunity attack on the way of 2. 1, 2. Now I'm going to move 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And now I will take a mission action to overload the 3rd terminal, finally. And I can read story paragraph 23. So let's do that. The core is rigged, Garrus says, holding up a detonator. Wait, Liara peers into the smoke. By the goddess, what is that? A shimmer in the air is the only warning before a deadly monomolecular blade slides out of the smoke. Shepard dodges and rolls away as the blade strikes sparks from the deck where they stood moments before. The phantom spins in place and slashes twice more before darting back out of range. Cloaked assassin? Doesn't matter, Rex laughs. With enough ammo, everything dies. As the squad scans the reactor chamber, the comms burst to life as Edie speaks. Shepard, the recovery of the refugees you found is not complete. You need to hold on as long as you can before you start the overload to allow the Kodiaks to pick everyone up. If they leave now, they should make minimum safe distance by the time the core gets critical, Garrus yells. We can't risk a delay while we play around with this thing, Shepard. Mark this preliminary objective as complete. You can now attempt the Paragon and Renegade objectives. Place the Phantom on its spawn hex. It has 2 sets of rules in the Elite Enemies section. Use the upper set of rules until a story paragraph instructs you otherwise. All right, so this part is done. We can mark it. Before I forget, I did shuffle one, so we need to mark that one time. So the Phantom now spawns here, and the top set of instructions say, when the Phantom makes an attack, it targets all adjacent squad mates. When this symbol on this third space, when the symbol on that Phantom's resilience tracker is marked, read story paragraph 46. So its shields are 6, 6, 7. So when you get to 7, then you read that paragraph, and then 8, 8, 9. So we've now unlocked the Paragon and Renegade options. The Paragon option is stall for time. If the Phantom is defeated, you have completed the Paragon path for this mission. And the Renegade option says escape the Phantom. Once the Phantom has been wounded, the squad can escape in the end phase as long as the squad mates are each in or adjacent to a fast travel hex. So either on this hex or adjacent to one of those 2 hexes. Doing this completes the Renegade path for the mission. So what that doesn't tell me is what wounded means, because wounded is like in bold here. Once the Phantom has been wounded, the squad can escape. So does that mean like literally just 1 damage? Or is wounded a key word that has to do with that space there? I'm not sure. Well, I'm going to assume that when it's wounded, I'll learn that in this paragraph. I think that's probably what's intended. So I need to do a lot of damage to this Phantom now. And it was Rex's turn, and Rex could keep going if I use Paragon dice. So yeah, heck with it. Let's have Rex keep going. Let's move 2 spaces. 1, 2, and then use Lift Grenade with this enhanced die. And so I give this Phantom Biotic Effect Token and move it up to 2 spaces. I'm just going to move it 1 space to here, I think. So now let's check the hazard card for Rex. Oh, I didn't pass out any hazard cards yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rex gets the top one. Flip it. Activate each Assault Trooper and Engineer. Well, I think this whole thing's about to be a moot point, because once I activate this Engineer, they're going to attack whoever has the least amount of health, either Rex or Shepard, and that is actually Shepard right now, so that's 2 damage. And let's say, even for fun, that it was Rex. 1, 2. When this Assault Trooper activates, they're going to do 4 damage to Shepard. 1, 2, 3. So even though Rex was kind of nearby, it doesn't matter. Whatever happens, Shepard is down. So that's going to be mission failure. Shepard is down. So we won't find out what happens if you defeat the Phantom or try and get out of here, which is kind of a shame. So my last 2 missions in this campaign, mission 4, Shepard went down and I failed the mission after 2 turns. So I played that game for like under 10 minutes. And then this one, in real time, I've been playing close to 2.5 hours just for Shepard to go down. So before I read story paragraph 98, my general thoughts on how I might house rule this for myself. Like, I wasted the whole first half of this game, this particular mission, with Shepard just hiding. And then I tried to get Shepard back out and had Shepard come back out, and Shepard died before they got another turn after that. So I guess I just should have had them continue to hide. And that's not super fun. So I get it that the mission like fails if Shepard goes down, but I feel like if Shepard goes down, you should have until the end of the round to revive Shepard. At least give you a shot to do something about it. Because, at least I was playing solo, but I can't imagine playing with 3 of my friends and I'm controlling Shepard and I just have to hide the whole time. I just have to turtle the whole time and not die. That's like not super fun. So, oh well, mission failure. Shepard is down. So let's read story paragraph 98. Joker, Shepard is down. We need evac right now. Get to the access panels. The service ducts will take you right to the outer hull. The voices blur together. The sound of the Phantom's blade striking a kinetic shield mixes with the rattle of gunfire as the squad grabs Shepard and races for safety. I'm sorry, Commander, but dying was not in the calendar for today, Garrus says. If you want me to pencil you in for next week, I'm sure Cerberus would be happy to reschedule. The mission ends immediately. Read story paragraph 122. So Joker says, "All right, people, this is your pilot speaking. We are now LEA leaving Hagalaz. If you enjoyed the deadly weather and inexplicable appearance of Reapers on this routine smash and grab mission, please fill out the comment card located in your seat back and your feedback will be noted by the crew. Now vectoring for the Citadel. Jump drive is hot." So now we're going to check our war readiness score that we earned. We didn't get any for the last 2 missions. So according to my notes, we're at 17 war readiness. So there are different tiers here. That seems to be the middle tier out of 5. So we're going to go to story paragraph 75. So we've got Admiral Hackett now. "Given the unique circumstances of this mission, you and your crew did an admirable job, Shepard. It's no Omega-4 relay, but you and your crew pulled out a win, and we need as many of those as we can get." And that's it. It doesn't say anything more than that. So that is my big ending. Yeah, I still think that the emphasis on Shepard going down is a little bit too strong. Particularly because once the mission fails, you get nothing. And you really need that war readiness. That's really what you're playing for. So I was off to a pretty good start, sort of a sad end on the last 2 missions. I guess I preferred the mission 4 where I died immediately rather than drawn it out over a couple of hours. But that's what it is. So don't let the ending fool you. I still enjoyed the campaign. I do like the gameplay. It was fun to level up and see the characters get stronger over the course of this campaign. But yeah, definitely just for myself, house ruling going forward that when Shepard goes down, the other squad mates have until the end of the round to get over there and do a revive action. I just think that makes it a little less heartbreaking when Shepard goes down, but still puts an emphasis on Shepard needing to stay alive. You do need some tension there, but you don't want it to be quite so devastating, in my opinion. That being said, a lot of the reviews that I've seen online for this game are of people saying that, it's fun to see the characters again, but the combat's not very difficult. So I think maybe everybody out there is better than I am, and maybe the Shepard going down criteria is appropriate, and I'm just not very good at the game. That is definitely possible. But you let me know what you think. Leave me some comments on what maybe you would have done differently, or what your experience has been playing the Mass Effect Priority Hagalaz board game, or just your experiences with Mass Effect in general, because it's an awesome franchise and I'm always happy to talk about it. But that concludes this series. I don't know that I'll be playing through the campaign again on this channel, but I will be playing it again on my own for sure. And, there's a lot of neat things that I haven't demonstrated. I went the Paragon route on this campaign, but the Renegade path gives you different options. Instead of these Paragon dice, you get different mechanics using Renegade tokens. So there's more to explore in this game. And again, I've only showed you 5 missions here out of the 14 that are available. So don't take this particular campaign playthrough to be the end all be all. There's more to it than what I showed you. So your mileage may vary. But that is it on this episode of Table for One. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you stuck it through for all 5 episodes of this campaign, that's pretty cool. Let me know if you did. And next week I'll be back with something else. So until then, have an awesome week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.